Okay, we're going to review quiz 3, linear equations in Algebra 1. The first question says a 5-inch candle from Bath & Body Works burns at a rate of a half an inch per hour. A 5-inch candle from Walmart burns at a rate of 2 inches per hour. Graph the equations. Describe the slope, y-intercept, and x-intercept of the graph. The first thing I'm going to do is, for myself, is write the equation. Knowing that a Bath & Body Works candle is 5 inches to start with, and we're taking away a half an inch for every hour. I also know that Walmart's candle is 5 inches, and we're taking away 2 inches for each hour. I know that the candle sizes are in inches, so I don't need to do any conversion. And I know that the rate of burning is in per hour, so I don't need to do any conversion. So all I need to do now is graph this equation. But I want to put it in y equals mx plus b form or slope-intercept form before I start graphing. Slope-intercept form says that the slope goes first. And in this case, the slope is negative 1/2 h. I know that because the rate of burning is a half an inch per hour, and the rate of burning for the second graph is 2 inches per hour. And we know that rates are ratios, which are changes in y over the changes in x's, which is slope. I know that we start with 5 inches, which is a positive. The Walmart candle is burning or taking away size at a rate of 2 inches per hour, even though we start with, again, 5 inches. So now let's graph this equation. Both the yellow and the red candles start at the same point. But the yellow candle goes down 1 and then right 2. So the yellow candle ends up being here. Again, because the half says down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. And of course, 2 points determine a line, so I'm done. So now let's give us a line. Now the red candle slope is a little different. It says down 2, right 1. How do I know that it's right 1? Because I'm going to put that whole number as a fraction. So from that point, from the 5 inches where we started with, it goes down 2 and then right 1. Again, down 2, right 1. And now I can put the line for that. Okay, now that I have graphed my equations, I can describe the slope. First of all, I know the slopes are a negative correlation because they are going down. Here's my right hand, here's my left side. They are pointing down on the right side. I can also say that the slopes are not the same because if the slopes were the same, they would be parallel. And these lines are not parallel, especially since they intersect right here at number 5. Okay? So since they touch, they're not parallel. And they're not perpendicular because the slopes are not opposite reciprocals. This one's negative and this one's negative. Even though this is 1 over 2 and 2 over 1, the slopes are still both negative. They are not perpendicular. And finally, the x-intercepts is where they cross this line. It's going to be a little while before this line touches the x-axis, but this line touches the x-axis here. So this is the x-intercept for that graph. A fitness club opens with 10 members. Each month, the membership increases by 7 new members. We're going to write and graph an equation that reflects this relationship where x is the number of months and y is the total membership. How would the graph change if the club opened up with 25 more members? And what's that equation? All right, let's take a look here. The first thing is the starting point. Which one of these would be the y-intercept? Would it be the 10 because it opened up with 10 members? Would it be the 7 because it's increasing by 7 members? Which one would it be? It would be the 10 membership because the y-axis determines what you start with. So, starting with our 10 members, this is where we're going to start. Each month it is increasing by 7 new members. So we are going to start with our 10 and we're going to increase by 7, and the key word here is each month. Each month tells me that it's going to be multiplying. We're going to multiply 7 by each month. So here's my equation. Knowing that I started with 10, I'm increasing with 7, I'm going to end up with I'm going to end up with Y amount of members at the end of the month. So now let's graph that. Started at 10, I'm increasing by 7. That's approximately 7. And then over 1. How do I know I'm going to move right 1? The 7 is positive, so I go up. And then the 1 is positive, so I go right. So up 7, right 1. Up 7, right 1. So what I'm going to do, draw my line. So this is traveling up pretty fast. Now, how would this graph change if we opened up with 25 more members? That means what's going to change? It's going to change from 10 to 25. So that means the x-intercept is the one that's going to change. So we're going to change from 10 to 25. So now we're starting at 25. And we're still going to go up 7, so the slopes will be the same, up 7 and right 1. The only difference is we're starting with 25. So look at there. I already wrote my equation. Starting with 25, going up 7, right 1. Up 7, right 1. We are going, this is a parallel equation. Up 7, right 1. Now, that's approximately where it is. And we're going to graph. There we go. So, in this case, these lines will not intersect because the slopes are the same. These slopes are the same. They will not intersect. And it's not the same line because the y-intercepts are different. So now I know that if I change my y-intercept and keep my slope, the lines will be parallel.